Welcome to the Heart of Money podcast, where we discuss the personal and emotional elements of money and the impact that money has on every area of your life. I'm Austin Black, a personal finance coach that helps couples overcome their fear and frustration of financial management so they can take complete control of their money. What started as a desire to learn the fundamentals of money management has turned into a passion for helping couples work together to achieve financial success and strengthen their relationship with each other. Whether you're looking for the best strategies to manage your money as a couple, or you're tired of struggling to gain traction and want to overcome the fear and frustration associated with finances, I'm here to help, and this show is for you. Ready to learn more? Then let's talk about the Heart of Money. Hey folks, welcome back to the Heart of Money episode. Drum roll, Bob.
99.
No, 100.
All right. Where was I for 99? I'm confused.
We made it, my friend. We are still here, happy, kicking and screaming all the way to town. For those of you just joining us for the first time, welcome. I am your host, Austin Black, joined by Mr. Bob Wessler. And back for episode 100 is our lovely wives, Kate and Laura. Ladies, how are you this evening?
Wonderful. How are you this evening?
Well, we're still here.
You're still here. Well, that's always good. That's a great start to the 100th episode. We're still here.
That's what I'm saying. You're still around 100 episodes later.
I thought you meant you were still here. Okay, good. Yeah, we are all still here. That's fantastic.
And we could have wrapped this up in episode 1. Spend less than you make. But we're still here, hitting that home.
We're still here talking about the same things.
Budget.
Came up with 100 ways to talk about it.
That's right. And we're going to come up with 100 ways more to not talk about it.
Only two. We just keep saying the same things over and over again.
Oh, man, we are truly excited to be at 100 episodes. Bob, did you think we were going to get there?
After our initial conversation way back in that
5.5 years ago.
Has it been that long? God,
no, but it feels like it.
Yeah. We were just going to try this out and see how it went. And you kept me around for a while longer than you thought you were. And you kept telling me to come back. And I said, okay, fine. And you found some other people to talk to in the meantime. So
I was telling Laura the other day as I was looking through the schedule and everything, and not to say that I didn't expect us to go 100 episodes, because I always did. That's why, that's why I've numbered them the way that I have online. But to look back and say, okay, we actually had 100 different episodes around different topics, different guests. That was just really cool to look back at what all we've talked about and the extent and the depth and the breadth. And we do talk about the same things over and over, but we always come at it from a different angle. And I think we've had some outstanding stories, both amongst ourselves, with the guests that have come on. So obviously this in and of itself isn't a special episode from the topic standpoint, but I want to take a minute and celebrate the fact that this is 100 episodes. And Bob, thank you so much for sticking with me through this whole run of recordings. And we probably talk way more than we should and don't say near enough, but we have a lot of fun, and that's why I keep doing it. So, my hope and my mission is through the mess and the clutter of our conversation, they're encouraged, they're inspired, they're motivated, and that we do make a difference in their lives. And I'm really excited to be able to do that with you. So this is going to be fun. I'm looking forward to how we get to continue the next 100. And Bob's going, oh no, he's going to keep at it for how much longer? But
I was wondering if there was going to be a 101 after this. And you say it's not a special episode, but it is a special episode because our wives have come back.
That is true.
Us.
Yes.
And we wouldn't be able to have these conversations if it weren't for our wives wrangling the kids in the other room or across the house or wherever they might be, keeping them from interrupting the entire broadcast and our deeply involved conversations that go around in circles that we continue to have. But as always, we come at it from different angles with a different approach or a different outcome that still gets back to either budget or spend less than you make. And,
Right.
We have other guests that come on and say the exact same thing, and there might be something to it. I don't know. And then our wives get to come on and say, yeah, hey, dummies,
We don't
spend less
say
than you
that.
make. They don't say it out loud, but
Behind closed doors.
we know what they mean.
Right. Well, I've always said, and this is on my website too, that the principles of financial management are not hard, but it takes the dedication and commitment and hard work to make it work. And that's, Bob, where I think you and I get the opportunity to continue to work with people, whether it's educating on the podcast, whether it's in the coaching sessions that we hold, because money management doesn't change, but everyone can change how they manage money. And that's really the epitome of everything that we talk about. So yeah, to not beat a dead horse into the bush more, we're going to keep talking about the same stuff because it doesn't change, but we're going to continue to find new ways to encourage, empower, enlighten, motivate, and challenge you, audience, in how you can win with money, how you can, as Bob says, not make the same mistakes we made. And as I always say, gain complete control of your money by working as a team. So that's our ultimate goal. So without further ado, we had you ladies on a couple of, I guess at this point, it's been about a month ago by the time this airs, for a fun conversation around budgeting. And tonight we're going to do a little bit more of a unpredictable conversation, because we don't know what any of us are actually going to say. But I was on an episode here several months ago with a guest, and the topic came up that men and women usually have different definitions around certain phrases, because we understand money differently, we view money differently, we talk about money differently. So tonight we've got a list of certain phrases that we are going to do a round robin and see how we each individually and between men and women define these certain phrases and kind of discuss that a little bit. How's that sound?
Oh, it sounds very entertaining.
I'm just amused that you act like we never know what we're going to say. You never know what I'm going to say anyway. So now you've just.
No, I don't.
He doesn't either.
No, neither one of us know what's going to come out of each other's mouth until 3 seconds after it happened.
He does have a point.
And you don't know what's going to come out of your own mouth.
That's what I'm saying.
He's so confused.
Do what?
So number one.
Okay. Should we start at the top of the list or the bottom?
Oh, start in the middle. Get everybody
Middle.
confused.
Okay, I like that even better. Okay. So phrase number one. We can't afford that. Ladies first.
There's not enough money to pay for that.
To me, that means I don't want to spend the money we have on that.
Ooh. Bob?
There is no possible way that I can figure out how to come up with the funds to purchase that item.
Okay. And I would say that's not important enough to budget the funds that it would take to buy it.
So we all just basically said the same thing. I understand
did.
that. Yeah. There's just not money in the budget for it.
So, this is why I was, Bob probably wasn't, but I was really excited about this episode because I knew exactly what was going to happen. We were all going to have a different way of saying the same thing.
Which is like the last 99 episodes.
Pretty much, yes. Pretty much.
Where did she come up with these things?
I know.
It's amazing.
Yeah, it's amazing. I also know that a lot of times the way that we each say those, so for example, Bob and Kate, you said the same thing, but you said it in two very different ways. So can you repeat those for me?
We don't want to spend the money that we do have on that item.
Okay.
I can't figure out where the money would come from to pay for it.
So it's interesting because when I hear both of those definitions, they both come from the scarcity standpoint, but they both are admitting to the control standpoint of we are still in control of our money. We just aren't able to do this with our money.
Mm-hmm.
Does that make sense?
Or not that we aren't able to. It's just we don't want to. Like,
Yeah.
because,
Yeah.
I mean, coming from my background of not having a lot of money, to me, we have a lot of money now,
Mm-hmm.
but we've told ourselves no enough times along the way that we've been able to get that. But not, I don't know. Like, so to me, like, we could spend the money on that if we wanted to, but we don't want to spend what we do have on that. Like, you know, we
Yep.
have that money set aside for vacation, or next time I blow my car up, or
Yeah,
You know.
exactly.
So
hopefully-
Laura, how did you say it?
We don't have the money for that. Which, I mean, there are some things that it's just purely the money is not there
Yeah.
for it.
I
So not the we could choose to, it's there's just not
Mm-hmm.
the excess.
So then, Austin, your version was it's not important enough.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, my version was yes. It's not important enough to budget for that versus something else,
And
and
I think-
it doesn't have that priority within your realm of available funds.
And I think the way you said it is probably very similar to how both of us said it, but in a different way of saying we're just not putting that priority on it
Yep.
to make that purchase. Yeah.
Yep, absolutely. All right. Phrase number 2. I'm gonna jump around the list. So phrase number 2, I'm not good with money.
I think you need to go first because you
Okay.
can't always have the last word.
I'll go first.
He always has the last word.
That's why I'm making him go
I mean,
first.
99 times we've gone through this.
So I'm not good with money to me means I don't make smart decisions with how I manage my money.
I'm going to say when I hear somebody say that, it means they don't care about how they spend their money.
when I hear somebody say that, I feel like that says they don't have self-control.
Mm-hmm.
Now I got to think of a different way to say
Sorry.
it.
Oh,
you guys have already
you can
said
say
it.
it the same thing.
Yeah.
You can
Yeah,
agree.
Yeah.
you say the exact
I
same
mean,
thing.
You can agree with Kate.
Yeah.
We already know you do. So because you don't agree with Austin. So
Yeah, it's just I'm not able to make the right decisions in how to handle my money.
Mhm.
or I don't want to make the right decisions.
Yeah.
Or I won't. Didn't you?
I'm
you've always heard that?
incapable.
I'm not gonna.
It's a would you guys say that is a acceptance or a statement?
It's an excuse.
Mm-hmm.
I know that wasn't one of your options.
No, well,
But it's an
and I had a
excuse.
reason for saying those two.
Okay, tell us what the reason is that we should have chosen one or two, option one or two.
So, do you accept the fact that you're not good with the money, even though you know you're not good with money, or is that the statement of reality and you don't care?
Yes, the latter.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I'm not good with money. I'm not going to change until they get to a point where, as we've said in previous episodes, they have to change.
Mm-hmm.
And then they realize I'm not good with money, but I have to do something about it. Now.
Yep.
I think the phrase is they're sick and tired of being sick and tired.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. What do you think? Acceptance or statement?
It's a statement. I mean,
Mhm.
well, I guess it depends on the context of the conversation. Because if they're coming to someone for help
Mhm.
and saying, I'm not good with money. It's an acceptance.
Mhm.
Now, if it is to a spouse and just saying, well, I'm not good with money, so I can't do this piece and it's all on you, then it's more of a statement, excuse.
Mhm.
This is who I am. You're not going to change me. Deal with it.
Yep.
I'm going.
Yeah, I think more times than not, people have it more as a statement of this is just who I am and it's the way that it is, and I'm good with that. I don't see a need to be different.
And they're going to be those people that even when they come to somebody and say, I'm not good with money, and they listen to what that person says about what they need to do with money,
Mhm.
it's still a statement.
Yep.
Well, and when they come to someone, were they the one initiating it and
Right.
accepting it, or were they being drug along?
Right. 100%. Okay, here's an easy one for you, Bob. We're broke.
I knew this one was coming. I was trying to refrain from saying it before. It goes along with my number one. We don't have money for it. I don't have money that I can pull to allocate to make that purchase. My wife's version of that would be,
If we're broke, we don't have money.
period.
At all.
Period. Like
Okay.
none.
So Kate is an absolute, and Bob is a. It's just not there for anything but the necessities.
It's not there for me to put money towards. I don't have extra.
Okay.
Yes.
So there's not enough there to do what I want to do. Kate is there's not any at all.
Yeah, I'm maxed out.
Yep. Okay.
I'm sure that's number 6 on the list.
I'll let you go last here. So we're broke for me means we're as tight as we can possibly be, and we're about to be in trouble.
Mine is similar, maybe a little bit further, though, is we don't even have enough money to cover all of our basic necessities.
So like you and Kate are pretty dang close, and Bob and I are probably same-ish lane, sounds like.
Well, I'm going to tell you that we've had this conversation, and maybe we've talked about it before, where Kate will bust out all of the net worth stuff to say, we have plenty. Well, I understand we have plenty, but we're illiquid.
Yep.
Once he will do that when I'm like, there's not going to be enough money, and he'll remind me of, we've got this sitting here. We're going to be okay.
Yeah, but I don't want to touch it.
Yeah,
It's
I don't
there
want to
for a
touch that
reason.
emergency fund.
Yeah.
I understand, but I've been broke.
Yeah.
And that is not where we are now.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think there's a bigger gap of calling yourself broke if you've been there versus if you feel like you're broke. There's a big discrepancy there. I think, for someone who has been there, broke is exactly what it is. There is no money there at all. Someone who hasn't been to that extreme but feels tight, broke to them is probably more along the lines of, there's nothing extra. There's nothing here for the what ifs.
Or I don't know where it's going to come from next month.
We are bare bones paycheck to maybe paycheck type of scenario.
Which is another one for Kate that I will say that I live paycheck to paycheck. And she goes, you absolutely do not, and slips me on the back of the head.
Yeah.
Because of how I allocate funds.
Yep.
Because I could reallocate and it would be a completely different picture.
Yep. That's interesting. Yeah. Okay. Bob's going to love this one too. It's a good deal.
Why am I going to love that one? I think we had this conversation last time on what a good deal was. I've got good deals out in the garage right now. I didn't buy them at full price. I bought them at half price or less.
So when I think of a good deal, it is something that is that I need, and I'm going to pay less than what it is actually worth. Plain and simple.
I agree with that, but if you're someone that I'm related to, and I'm not going to name names, it's anything that is less than full price, whether you need it or not, because someday you might need it.
But is that your definition?
No, mine is like yours. Okay. I'm just giving another perspective.
Getting
of someone I know that I'm related to.
Yep.
Who's not in this conversation.
No.
But he's right there.
I would agree that a good deal is something that you need to begin with. It doesn't matter if it's at a good price. If you don't need it and you're not going to use it, that doesn't make it a good deal.
I would go with both of those. Either something that I've had my eye on and it's on sale, and I have refrained from purchasing it because I know it will go on sale. Or in some cases, like Laura said, about the person that's not Austin, that I could use that at some point.
No, it's seriously not him.
But something that many times there's something that's a good deal. I'm not going to buy it because it's not something I could foreseeably see using, versus something that might be something to have come in handy because I really don't want to pay full price for it when I do need it.
Yep. We all kind of agreed.
Shocker.
Miracle.
Okay, so to go back to the previous theme, we're rich.
Money is there for everything I could possibly want and don't have to worry about it.
I would say we have a lot of money at our disposal.
Go ahead.
Not really a one that would come to mind for me, but I think in my family growing up, we're rich did not have to do with money. It had to do with family and having loved ones around and having good relationships. So it was completely not related to anything financial. And that was where we were rich. From a standpoint, if I would say I'm rich, I'm going to go back to what Laura said. There's money that I can use wherever I need to, when I need to, and could probably fall into that category now.
I always thought of my great aunt as rich because they had a fountain. I know that's weird, isn't it? I would say that being rich would be to have all the things that you need taken care of, plus extra.
Mm-hmm. They sound so much nicer than us.
Well,
it's because we are, Austin. Come on.
Well, nicer
we're
than
nicer
Austin.
than Austin. So.
And on that note, okay. So again, another 180 switch around. It's a good investment.
Oh God.
Oh Lord.
To me, that just means run.
It must be a collector something or other.
Beanie Babies or Precious Moments. What are all the...
That's funny.
It's a good investment. That's right up there with being rich. There can be two sides of this one, in my opinion. There can be the I am trying to talk you into what I want and calling it a good investment. And either because I'm trying to sell you on it, or I have talked myself into it being a good investment.
Mm-hmm.
And there could be those situations where something that will appreciate will actually be a good investment. But I think from my perspective, it typically tends to be I'm trying to talk you or myself into saying that what I know is not really worthwhile long term is a good investment.
Mm-hmm.
Trying to keep the little bunny foo-foo.
I look at this one as exactly what it is. When I hear, or when I hear and when I say it's a good investment, it's a good investment. It's a good return. Now, I am, to go along with what you're saying, Bob, if I hear someone else say that, I'm going to do my own research and study to prove it to myself. But if I say it's a good investment, it's a good investment, point blank. It's a good option to make. So I look at it as a pretty straightforward statement.
So gold and Bitcoin.
No.
Just checking.
No. Unless you're the one paying for it, then it's a good investment for me.
For you. The Austin coin.
Well, and I don't know that we necessarily always talk about investment in the context of, we're going to put our money in this stock or things like that, but more so like something that is going to be a significant dollar amount purchase that we may or may not get all the immediate benefit, or maybe we do have immediate benefit, but it's a significant out of the norm purchase that we will still have value for years to come.
I'm glad we agree upon what an investment is.
Now, you might have used the line on me for something to get me on board to do something earlier
Truck.
than what I maybe thought was necessary.
Never. All right, we've got 2 more, so we might get through all these tonight.
Record time.
Yeah. Okay, so I want financial independence.
I don't want to depend on someone else for money. I don't want to owe anyone money.
I would say I want to be able to cover anything and everything that I could possibly want or need without concern.
I want financial independence. To me means if I want the choices of where I want to work, when I want to work, if my boss is being a dunderhead, then I can say, I can take a pay cut. I can go work wherever. To me, that I want financial independence means I want the choices to be mine, not my boss's.
Mm-hmm. That's good.
I would say I can do what I want when I want, or buy what I want when I want, regardless of what it costs. That there is doesn't matter the price, the time, anything. I have the freedom to make the choice that I want to make with no strings attached.
Dude, that definition to me is we're rich.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
I did that on purpose.
Is that like those trick lines in the budget?
It's more like knowing how Bob thinks.
That's scary.
I didn't say understanding, I just said knowing. Well, and those two they do kind of go hand in hand whenever you are talking about potential finances. Because I mean, a lot of people, I think they see financial independence as being rich, or vice versa. And I am more inclined to use the financial independence phrase than the rich phrase, because I think it's a more clear definition. So kind of, you know, what you're saying there, that's more in line with how we look at what rich actually is, I think.
And I would say rich would almost come across as just that much more, or being opulent, as opposed to freedom of choices. Now, if you make the last question, we're wealthy.
Do you have just one more left?
I've got one more.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, that's kind of two.
You're going to spoil it. All right. So the last statement. We are or are not on the same page.
Depends on the day. Depends on the situation. Depends on the topic. We're on the same page. We understand what we're talking about and where each other are coming from.
And if you're not on the same page, is that just the opposite of that, or is that a different definition?
He fades away, trying to get further away.
Yes. We are nowhere close to being not on the same page means we're not communicating.
Okay. Kate?
I think being on the same page is...
I can still hear you.
Is she on the same page with him with this definition or not?
No.
I just love how everyone who watches this on audio can never see Bob leave the camera screen.
Since they're watching it, I've got a face for radio. A whole head for radio for that.
If there was a delay, Bob's probably leaning back 3 feet off of the mic, thinking of what he shouldn't say.
No, that's when I go, ow.
Okay. On the same page. I would say at least, you know, they say we're on the same page, but we're not singing the same verse. Sometimes, even if you're understanding, if you're close to having that communication, and that's what's tricky, Austin.
That's why I saved it for last.
Yeah. Maybe you're not exactly together, but you're close and you're trying to understand where the other person's coming from and where you're trying to both get to.
You're in the ballpark.
Yeah. You're in the ballpark.
Yeah.
That's number 9. That's the bonus one. What does that mean?
You can go now, wrap it up.
Why do you always get the last word?
Because I'm the host.
Because he's the editor.
This is my show. I get to do what I want when I want.
He's
And
rich.
Bob gets to tag along.
We are or are not on the same page. We agree or we disagree. We understand each other. We don't understand, and get to a mutual place.
It's kind of like what Bob said.
In fewer words, might I add.
I'm glad to know you're both on the same page with each other. That's good. That's good to know.
You're in trouble.
Always.
So, genius, how would you wrap this up?
Yes. Thank you for the introduction there.
Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Austin Black, the host, editor, creator, conspirator, and well-known genius of this podcast. What are your words of encouragement for all that are listening as you say what it means to be on the same page or not on the same page?
Well, for starters, I love that you actually used the mic this time.
I know. I had to lean in. But that'd look really weird because then Kate's in the background and see,
then she's off camera.
That's right.
So my thought philosophy is we are on the same page, and I'll reference kind of what Kate said, but from a different angle. I like to say they're on the same page, or sorry, let me flip this around. The other end of it. We are not on the same page. I like to reference we're not on the same page, but we're in the same book. Meaning we both ultimately, we don't realize it, but we want the same thing. And that's what I know that's going on. But we don't know how to communicate that to each other to get on the same page. So we feel like we are opposing, like we're not in agreement, like we are in conflict, like we can't understand each other. But it's because we aren't able to communicate with each other effectively. So that's not on the same page. We are on the same page, to me, is we understand each other at a fluent level so that we can be fully supportive of what each other is doing and our philosophy, our beliefs, everything. We're very much unified in our decisions, our actions, our thought process. We maybe don't agree all the time, but we're unified in where we're going. Was that sophisticated enough for you?
Well, I was going to say, I know why you're going last, because Laura said it very succinctly and very simply, and you just had to embellish the heck out of it.
He couldn't come up with a better way to say it, so then he had to add extra filler words.
And typically it's the other way around. I'm the editor for her text messages. I do like to sound sophisticated, though. So, once in a while, a few extra filler words just makes me feel better about how I talk.
That's why I'm the co-host.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I've just been waiting for a dad joke to come out, though. There hasn't been one all night.
Okay. Well, you want me to end with my favorite latest dad joke?
If you're ready to wrap it up and end it.
Well, we're getting very close anyway.
Okay.
So I'll tell the dad joke, and then we'll put a final wrap on it. How's that sound? Okay.
It's your show.
Bob.
I don't think it matters what any of us say or think about it.
Well, Bob will sometimes oppose me, so I'm just giving the opportunity.
He's waiting for it, and then he just cuts it out to end it. And I'm just going to say what I'm going to say.
Bob, what is a key that has 2 feet, but yet can't open any locks?
No idea.
A turkey.
That's a riddle, not a dad joke. See, a dad joke is smoking will kill you. Bacon is said to kill you, too. Smoking bacon will cure it.
That's a factual statement.
True. So we've just
What was that one
obliterated
I told
what
you the other
dad
night?
jokes are.
Oh, yes. Bob, no, this one's for Kate. This would be better for Kate. What is 5 toes and isn't your foot?
Oh, I don't know, Austin. Enlighten
Bob's
me.
foot.
Bob's foot.
What if he's missing a toe? You don't know that.
Kudos
He has
to
nothing.
kudos to the person who invented denim pants. They were a genius.
I'm going to tell Haley's favorite one
Go for
from
it.
the other day. What is a tiger's favorite Christmas song? Jungle Bells.
And here they come.
Well, folks, it's been a lot of fun. We really enjoyed the conversations again this evening. I think it was so cool that we all had such similar definitions while still being very unique, and that kind of showcasing just how we each look at money differently, how men and women look at money differently, what the whole emotional process of understanding money actually is. So yeah, a lot of fun just to kind of hear the differences, and look forward to having you ladies back on again in episode 100 plus as we continue our show. So this is going to be a lot of fun. Any other final comments or thoughts from y'all before we wrap up? All right. Well, the kids have joined the household, as is always fun, entertaining. And Bob, it's always good to rag you. Kate, it's good to hear you. Laura, it's good to have you. And it's good for me to be the editor that gets to cut out anything that doesn't go right. So on that note, thank you everyone for tuning in, and we'll see you again next week on The Heart of Money. Hey folks, did you find today's episode valuable? If so, I would truly appreciate it if you left a 5-star review and shared the episode with a friend. My goal is to help as many couples as possible in their journey to gaining complete control of their money. Also, I have a free gift that I want to share with you for taking the time to listen to today's show. I have a brand new video training that outlines 5 steps for making a budget that will give you true financial freedom. In this training, I share how you can create a budget in a matter of minutes and make it easy to implement. Who doesn't want that, right? You'll learn what categories you need to cover all the bases each month and how to protect yourself against financial stress. You can access your free gift at freedommoneycoach.com/budget guide. That's freedommoneycoach.com/budget guide.